Peace, y'all. This your girl, Digga Digga, a.k.a. Dirty Harriet, a.k.a. First Lady of the Flipmode Squad, Angela Davis, Jersey's own. And when I'm home quarantining, I'm checking out my man, J-Ronin, on the All Elements Mix Show, Delicious Vinyl Radio, baby. Bricks.
All right. Here we go. Another very dope interview on the All Elements Mix Show on Delicious Vinyl Radio. Once again, I go by the name DJ J-Ronin, and this is the All Elements Mix Show on Delicious Vinyl Radio, as well as the J-Ronin Podcast. Make sure you follow me at J-Ronin, J-R-O-N-I-N 82 on Instagram. Patreon.com, J-Ronin82. I'm trying to be like y'all and get that Patreon up. Yeah.
I heard that.
Yeah. And make sure you subscribe and hit like on the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is doing really great. Shout out to all the other people that already came through to the show. Planet Asia, Razcast, Thurston Howe. You know, we got a lot of other cool Keith. A lot of people coming through. But yo, we got the queen. And people say, oh, she's the greatest female MC. You one of the greatest MCs, period. Stop separating man and woman. The illest, Jersey's own, Dirty Harriet, y'all, Rah Digga. Give it up one time.
Whoa.
Like, whew. You know you're one of my favorites. And you have this energy about you. Very positive. Like, immediately it felt like big sister type energy, you know? Like,
aww.
Right away, the first time we ever met, besides like real quick at a show, Hakeem from Channel Live had brought you to my old crib in Spanish Harlem for a session with you and Young Z, and you guys were doing a remix to the J Dilla joint. I can't remember the name of it, but Busta was on it and you was on it.
I know it ended up on one of Busta's mixtapes. That's funny. I forgot the name of it.
I think it was the Diligence tape, the Busta Dilla tape.
Yep.
Right. And I just got Pro Tools. This is like 2005, and I still wasn't great at looping beats and chopping the beat up. And you were like, "Oh, it's okay, baby. You'll be all right. Like you get it." And I was like, "Whew."
Matter of fact, slide over. Let me.
Yeah, I was. But we definitely had a good time, and ever since then, I always, try to work with you more and mixtape shows and anything we could do. I remember you did that show. We had a benefit for the hurricane victims in the Caribbean. Yes. And you pulled up on that, and you were on my Freestyle Files Volume 2, probably the illest mixtape I ever did.
Word, no, that joint was fire. Wait, you wasn't mad at me for busting the gun on that record, did you?
Oh.
Okay. No, because I had just like put it out on my own. Like that shit was so fire. It came out so dope. I just put it out on like my own SoundCloud shit. You like, what I was supposed to come out on the mixtape. I'm like, shit, my bad.
Listen, as long as people knew it was from my tape, I didn't care. It was promo for the tape.
Now, that shit came out so hard.
Most of the
I still perform. I perform that record. That's like I perform that at my shows. Like,
I know. I filmed you. I'm putting it on Instagram one time.
Word.
You know what I mean? But yo, you don't even know, man. You one of my favorites. I feel like that album with Nottz was slept on. That shit was so dope.
Yeah,
Nottz got that.
You know what it was too? I think that was like, because that was like my transition from being a major artist to an indie artist, and I was still kind of figuring things out. Like there's a lot of, for most people, like if you've been doing it independent the whole time, like you understand that you got to do everything yourself. So that was really like a learning curve for me. Like, oh shit, I gotta do that. So I think there were a lot of things that I was still trying to figure out. But I mean, Nottz is like one of my day one producers. Like the rhymes gonna always, be there. So I think like once I figured that out, it was like, okay, like from here on in, like now I understand how this goes. Like I got to be responsible for the artwork, just
Yeah.
every
Artwork, the A&R, mixing
yeah,
and mastering of the promotions, marketing. You gotta be your own
right,
publicist, unless you're
right.
hiring people.
Right. So I think there were some dots that didn't really connect the way they were supposed to with
Yeah.
with that project. But I think that was like a learning process for me and Nottz really. Like it was also like uh Raw Concept, the imprint that
Right.
it came out under. It was also like their first, run to the rodeo with the independent project. But luckily that I still have enough of a fan base that people are like, oh shit, they could drop some shit. But of course it wasn't to it wasn't on the grand scheme of Dirty Harriet, but Dirty Harriet had all the bells and
That was
whistles with it.
Electra,
So
right?
yes.
Yeah, so that's not comparable. You got
Ex-
that's an office full of people putting in work. You
exactly.
know. However, you have them build the brand, and then you go independent and benefit
That's
from it.
right. That's right.
That's the way.
That's the name of the game. Destroy and rebuild.
Let them make you a household name, and then
Yep.
do your own thing. Cause ain't nothing like working for yourself, doing your own thing.
Word.
Or I'm happy that a lot of records from the second album came out too some years back, cause that was
The
when
which one is that? The Everything is a Story.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Interesting. Like I was like put selling that album on MySpace, like back in
I remember.
like word is born. Like before iTunes, like there was this site called Payloads where
I remember that.
you could purchase and then you would get like the link to download the wave file.
Right.
So I was using MySpace to send people to this to this payload store I had. And I know Soldier Boy likes to take all the credit for being all innovative on the tech. So I would like to think that I was right there with you. Like, hold up, while you was ringtoning, I was over here payloading. So
Right.
I mean, hey, that album. But what's crazy? I feel like as dope as that album was, because
Mm.
there was definitely some like some fire on it. I
Mm-hmm.
think it was too cameo heavy. And
Mm.
I understand that at the time it was uh like so, artists like Rah Digga, like how do we get her mainstream enough, because we know the rhymes is there, we know the skills is
Right.
there, but how do we get that to translate to Billboard and all of the quote unquote the statistic stuff? And it was like, oh, uh, let's put her on a record with Pink. Let's put her on a record with Missy. Let's put her on a record with Fabulous. All of those like those chart people. And then when it's all said and done, I just had an album full of cameos. So
I like that Just Blaze record though. They get the video for.
which one? Party and Bull? Party and Bull.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
that was so that yeah, that was the single. Well, that was like that whole
I
concept
was in
was
school, and that was on playing at MTVU at the time.
right.
I
That
remember.
that that was like that. The motivation behind that was Jersey. Like I really thought, I thought we could get something going with Jersey as far as like like a signature sound for Jersey. Like, oh, let's how Jersey kind of like the land of house music. Let's get some
Hmm.
hip house shit going on. And Joe Budden set it off with
Right.
his fire joint. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm coming with Party and Bull. Like let's keep this thing going. So that
I thought
that
that
was
was a hit. It just need a little more promo.
it
You know?
was, but nah, it did. It's actually my biggest I want to say statistic wise like charting record to date for sure. It was doing well in places I didn't even expect. Like it was bigger in like North Carolina than New York. It was like it was just weird how that record was
Had a party
resonating.
vibe to it. Had a, you know.
Hmm. And the house music, the percolator, like anywhere where
Right.
house music is prevalent, like overseas, Chicago, Detroit, like all those type places, the
Right. Right.
certain areas in the South. Now that record was ringing off. I was definitely like the the Grace Jones of it for like 4 years, for 4 years straight.
Oh my
So
God, Grace
that
Jones.
was
I thought of Conan the Destroyer when you said that. And Boomerang.
word up.
Word. By the way, happy belated Mother's Day. You know, Mother's Day just passed.
Oh, thank
You
you.
know, and I gotta say, I'm trying to be a father. We working on it. I'm married now and everything. Got the house.
That's what's up.
I can't imagine what it's like though to juggle being a parent and being in this hip hop world at the same time. You know.
Well, you have to. I mean, I would say one thing definitely motivates the other. Like looking at your kid every day, like, damn, I can't be a scrub. I got this whole other life to take care of. So I think it motivates me more to succeed and
Mm,
gives me the ambition and the drive to do it. And vice versa. You want a legacy to leave to your kids. Now it's just a whole nother inspiration.
right, right. By the way, a shout out to my god kids' mothers, real quick. Sulin out in Belgium, and Jessica out in Boston. My goddaughter, Asia, actually designed this hoodie. I got to plug it real quick. The custom DJ J-Ronin Roni Oni Karate Bear.
Hey,
Check out Instagram.com, Asia Soul 1108. She's only 12 years old, designing her own clothes, drawing her own little characters. So, you gotta show love on that. I know, plug.
shameless plug. Shouts
Shameless
out to
plug.
Asiatic blessing me with t-shirts. Little
Yeah,
clothing
yeah.
company based out in Cali.
So, yo, let's take it back. For those aren't familiar, how did you first fall in love with this culture, and when did you get the MC bug to really pursue this?
Well, I would say spark to like, ooh, I'm gonna write a rap was now I'm about to tell my age when the Roxanne Wars was going on,
Mm,
and the real Roxanne started dissing Shantae. I was in love with Shantae.
of course, who wasn't?
Shantae was like my idol. So
First time I met her, I gave her the biggest hug in the world. Yeah, she's back.
so when the real Roxanne dissed her, I went and got myself a little tape recorder from Radio Shack, and I I had the instrumental playing in the background, and remember the tape recorders, you hit record and play at the same time, and I recorded my own track dissing the real Roxanne, like I was Roxanne's sister.
I need to hear this.
Hopefully it is somewhere in a landfill, never to be never to be discovered. But that was probably like my first like, okay, I'm rapping. And then from there we were doing
He must
weekly
have been
tap.
young, like a
Oh
kid,
yeah, I was like
a little
elementary
kid.
school. Like
Right, right.
I was like a kid. I don't even think I was 10 yet. And I after from there they were doing like weekly talent shows at my elementary school, and
Mm,
I would participate in those, and I was kind of nice, even back then that we had the guys versus the girls, and there was this one particular guy who was just so nice with it. I would liken him to an LL Cool J back then. Young kid. We now mind you, we still in elementary school, but just his swag, his whole like style, delivery, everything
mhm.
was like a LL. So whenever he rapped, Like everybody would just look at me like, what you gonna do, Rah? Like it was on me to take him, and I was losing like every time. And I think that kind of built up my like, oh fuck that, man. I ain't gonna be getting embarrassed by no rappers out here. So I've been on, I've had that frame of mind ever since, that young. And then I think once I saw Queen Latifah doing it, like once I saw Latifah on TV, then like it started to click to me like, wait a minute, like this is something that I could do for real. Like that's Dana Owens from Irvington High down the street. Like, hold up. Because prior to that, looking at people on TV, like I thought you had to be from New York. I thought New York was out of space. Like it just seemed like a very unattainable goal all the way until I started recognizing faces from Jersey, Latifah, Lakim Shabazz. Like, wait a minute, I know these
flavor
people.
unit,
Yeah, I know these people. Like they're from around here, so it's possible to be from around here and be on TV. And that's when I really started like, you know, going hard to like I found a producer to record a demo, and then I started the whole like, please listen to my demo track. Then like fast forward, I actually ended up, kind of rolling with the flavor unit. I was like I would say a flavor unit affiliate. And, I had a partner named Chia. We were twice the flavor, and we started recording things together. She was actually working with Ruler Lord Ramsey and Flavor Unit, so he kind of put us together as a group, and we just really started like recording demos and just going in and getting like that neighborhood notoriety. And then one of those demos ended up in the possession of Das Effects. We ended up signing to Das Effects. They were managing us, and when things kind of hit the ceiling there, I ended up splitting up with my partner and their road manager. I'm sorry about that. I don't know where that is. Damn it. Their road manager, and nobody's gonna answer it. I'm sorry, guys.
Go ahead, go get it. My cat will probably jump on me in a second. Every interview. Don't worry about it. We can always edit it out.
Sorry, I can't answer that.
Every interview I got cats jumping on my head. something.
So just to go backwards a little bit, once I split up with my partner, and then their road manager ended up becoming my manager, and we really started like hitting the trail together. And I signed to, well, actually not signed, but I became part of the Lyricist Lounge, and we were going on the road, and that's when I really started to blossom. Like I
Denny
met,
Castro and Marshall.
right. Like I started, I met Mos Def and Talib and Common and Pharoah Monch, Bahamadia. Like we were pretty much, that was pretty much like the Mickey Mouse Club of boom bap, and from there the rest is history. I always had the Outsidaz was the Jersey crew, because that was another thing too. Like once I went solo, I kind of like I tended to run with the guys more. Like that was one of the things, that was like one of the risks between my partner and I. Like she was somebody that liked to surround herself with a bunch of women. And I always surrounded myself with a bunch of dudes, and those dudes ended up being the Outsidaz, and I became okay. I gotta close this door because now I just I'm so sorry.
Watch, I'm gonna have a cat jump on my head any second.
So running, being a female in the Outsidaz, linking up with this manager who put me down with Lyricist Lounge. I met a lot of people through Young Z too, because he was like the first one in the Outsidaz with an actual solo deal, and it was one of his sessions where I met Q-Tip, and I was pregnant in the studio with Q-Tip, and I was about 8 months pregnant. I was like, yo, man, I got like 30 days, like 30 days to get a record deal, or I don't know how this music career gonna pan out for me. Like, hey, I'll sign you, you know, as long as you fresh. And sure enough, I got him a demo that week. I was headlining a Lyricist Lounge show that week that he hosted, and he saw me, and I think that was, you know, that pretty much like sealed the deal for him. Like, yo, this girl 8 months pregnant, ready to, you know, rocking. So I'm, you know, that's some serious ass work ethic.
Yeah.
So I ended up, I signed the deal with Tip. A lot of people don't even know that too. Like I was signed to Q-Tip before I was signed to Busta.
I knew that, but I think because you told me that. But yeah.
Yep. And I worked with Tip for about a year or two, and you know, now I know that Tribe Called Quest was in the process of splitting up. I didn't know that at the time. I just couldn't understand why you know, I couldn't understand why Kamal was so inaccessible. I'm like, what's going on, man? I'm hungry. Like, what's popping? And I think I just probably like got on his nerves to the point where he just was like, yo, Bus, you know, I got this dope female. She's fucking driving me crazy. I think she would be a great fit for, you know, what you're trying to do with this Flipmode Squad, and it happened like that. The rest was history.
All right. And besides Baby Sham and Rock, pretty much everybody was from Flatbush, you know, and then you would come up from Jersey. You know, me being from Flatbush, I'm always like, Flatbush, yeah.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. All those New Yorkers.
Right. Speaking of Lyricist Lounge, shout out to my boy Chance, aka Son Low. Shout out to the whole Ayak crew. And shout out to Piff James too.
I know that's my baby cousin.
He was over here making a beat for Planet Asia not too long ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets around. Every time I talk to him, I'm in Cali. I'm in Houston. He like, hi, cuz. I love to see it.
So how did the whole Outsidaz Fugees thing happen? That was a Jersey thing?
That was a Jersey thing. That was you know, that was another Z plug. He was the opening act on the Fugees tour. So because they were on
Blunted album.
Well, Outsidaz as a Outsidaz as a crew was on Rough House, which I believe became Rough Nation, and so was, you know, the Fugees was on the score, and everything came out on Rough House. So Z was doing a lot of stuff with them. Z was actually the person going one time on Killing Me Softly. Like Z was there a lot for them. And then from there, I don't know, like one day it was literally like we just woke up one day, and like we always do, we walking around Essex County. Who we gonna battle today? What crew we gonna smash today? And then we just ended up in the Booger basement, and you know, I just ended up in the corner with Lauren, and Pace ended up in the corner with Wyclef, and Z in the corner with Proswell. John Forte wasn't even at the session. I didn't hear Forte's verse until like after the song was on the album. Like it was just like another record we did with some other Jersey MCs, and then that was it. And then next thing you know, it's on this album that's selling millions and millions of copies, and then they want to shoot the video for it. It's like, let's go for it. And next thing you know, like that was actually the thing that got me, or I would say persuaded Sylvia Rome to sign me in the first place. Like, oh, That's the girl from the food. Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we can sign her. Sign her.
I'm still thinking about that session though. So you guys battled before doing that song?
No, we didn't. We
Thinking you and
not.
El Boogie battling in my mind, like
No, you know what?
or just ciphering, whatever, you know.
Right. Well, see, that's how, like, we as the outsiders, that's how we were, like, every
Right.
day. I mean, not even just us. Like, I think that's how rappers just were, period. It's like, you mean, oh, you rap? Oh, you rap? Oh, let's cipher. Or, let's battle, which in those days was let's cipher. And,
It was
whoever got the
hard.
most rhymes, yeah,
Right.
it's like, whoever run out of raps first lose. So that's pretty much how we did it. But in the case of the Fugees, I don't think anybody really like looked at them as battle MCs, because I mean, the Fugees now, they weren't the same Fugees back then. They were different, kind of arts, a little artsy.
Right.
We looked at them, well, I looked at them more like a band, I would say, than like a crew of MCs in that regard. But
Mm-hmm.
then they got their weight up too, and it was like, okay, now we doing this record together, and it came out dope. Like, it just so happened to be two guys and a girl in both crews, and that was that was the start of a beautiful thing.
Definitely. By the way, shout out to Young Z. I still remember the first time me and you got to really build. That was at my old crib in Spanish Harlem. Did I already talk about this on the camera or no? I didn't, right? No, we talked about it before. No, I didn't talk about it.
Oh, no, not on camera. No, we talked about it before.
Right. So we actually no, we did talk about it. I'm bugging.
Did we talk about it on camera?
I'm not even sure.
Pro
You know what? I'm gonna talk about it anyway and then edit it.
Yeah, watch your back.
Okay. But yeah, anyway, Hakeem from Channel Live, shout out to him, and Z had brought you over to my old crib in Spanish Harlem, and it was that Dilla record that you and Buster was on. It came out on the Diligence McBoogie mixtape that Buster did, and I was still getting used to Pro Tools, and I had to extend the beat and get Z on there, and I was fucking up, and he was just like, "It's okay, baby, mad tasty and cool," and I happened to have a lot of weed in the crib at the time, and everybody was just smoking and passing out, and waking back up, and okay, I got my rhyme ready, But it was definitely good vibes.
Good vibes, man. Good vibes. We've known each other for a long time.
I'm going off tangents. My bad.
Nah.
So from Q-Tip, the Fugees thing happened. Lyricist Lounge. And that I remember that posse cut. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I remember Shabam was on it.
You talk about Lyricist Lounge?
Respect
for peace. Something. It had something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was on the Lyricist Lounge project. Peace for respect for peace. I know it's dealing with basically the same thing we're dealing with now. Cops killing black and brown people.
And it's still happening. The only thing different now is just cameras to show and prove that it's really happening. It's not as deniable as it was before.
Word.
But
and what's crazy is we actually saw we actually saw it on camera with Rodney King, and people still tried to deny it. I think now the fact that you can literally see it every day, it's like, wait, are the cops really killing black people like that? Yes, every day.
Yeah, I had a book. I don't remember who put it out. It was called the Stolen Lives Project, and it was over 10,000 people, mostly black and brown, who've been killed by police over the last 40, 50 years, and unarmed people, and just breaking down each case by case. It's
crazy.
And we think it was bad now, but before cameras,
oh yeah,
it was
really bad.
I could just sprinkle some crack on people like Dave Chappelle was joking around about, but
No, they would really do
Man.
that. And not to mention the fact that it really came down to like your word against theirs, and you expect the police to be the most upstanding citizens of all. So it's
Right.
like you're gonna take the word of this person over a policeman.
And so many of them
Like
was
we had
murdered,
no wins.
especially back then.
Hmm.
On take and all that.
They got so used to getting away with it that they'll still fuck you up on camera and like don't see anything wrong with it. Like Derek Chauvin can really can really like smile for the camera with his hands in his pocket with the knee on the neck, like, and when you can't, what you gonna do?
I mean, I'm happy that he lost the case. It's crazy to me. I'm someone that loves martial arts and jujitsu and all that and grappling. You put a knee on someone's neck for 9 minutes, they're gonna die. It doesn't matter if they have COVID. If I put my knee on someone, I'm a big dude. I put my knee on someone's neck for 1 minute, they're gonna die. So he knows what he was doing. Absolutely, it was murder. It disgusts me. But for once, other cops are actually saying yes. He they're standing up and saying something about it, which is what we need to happen. We have to have some good cops speak about these bad cops that are killing people. If
Right.
we don't stand up, we're not, you know.
Especially other black and brown cops. I mean, we heard the KRS record, Black Cop. It's like
Hmm.
that record was made in the late 80s, and right now today, it's like the same rules still apply.
Right. Whew. It's crazy. Oh man.
All right, so let's
Nah,
get back out of that rabbit
no, it's
hole.
okay. No, but
Ah, Flipmode
listen,
Squad.
it's good to talk about things beyond just hip hop. I mean, we
Absolutely.
gotta be, I'm politically conscious. I always been politically
Yeah.
active. You know,
No, we're definitely at a time where if you have a platform and you have a following and a fan base, you should utilize your platform to get certain messages out and things
right,
like that. Like I'm one of those people, like I never, like a lot of times people like to judge artists by the music they make, or say that, oh, it's this type of music is why this, that, and
mhm,
everything bad in the world is happening. I feel like artists should be able to make whatever type of music they want, but when the mics turn off, they should also be able to, they should also to be able to show that dichotomy as well. They
right,
should be able to say, this is what I do for fun and entertainment, but in real life, I'm a grown ass with kids, and no, I
mhm,
stand for this and you should do that and things of that nature. Like I have an issue with I have an issue with artists who use their platform irresponsibly, and
right,
I don't expect everybody to, I don't expect everybody to be a preacher. I don't expect rappers to make gospel music, like kill whoever you want to kill, do whatever the fuck you want, but at some point show up to a school,
yeah. Give back to the
mentor,
community.
yeah, like
Help
mentor a
people.
kid, like, donate some computers or something.
Right.
Like even if you can't do the most financially, look, the way I understand, time is
Be a
money and
mentor.
money is time. Exactly. Like where you either you gonna save some time and spend some money, or you going or you gonna spend some time to save some
Right.
money. So you know what I'm saying? Like volunteer your time, volunteer your services, just do something. Like you should be able to, have some sort of character, good character,
Right.
outside of the music you make.
And music is music. It's art. It's entertainment.
Mhm.
Yes, in hip hop, you want to be authentic. And this is really me, but we exaggerate. You know,
Exactly.
the Lox didn't kill 10,000 people. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like,
Exactly.
you know, But people get confused with that. It's entertainment. You still gotta give back. Look at Styles P. He mentors kids, and he has
Right.
the juice company and the juice bar, and he does a lot of charity
Yeah.
events
It's
as
it's
well.
it's unfortunate that the artists nowadays, it's like they are feeling some sort of weird pressure to live up to the hype of their music, and I don't know why. Like I don't know,
Right.
I don't know at what point the tide shifted like that. Was it, were they not really paying attention to us, or are we not passing the torch probably? Like, I don't know what's happening. I feel like, actually I do know what's happening. I feel like there are powers that be that are that kind of push, they trying to like age us out of the game
Hmm.
to make the gems that we're dropping sound like nonsense or irrelevant, or
Right.
like
And push the ignorant stuff that the kids get
exact
into. And
exactly.
I always felt, most rappers aren't super tough guys. They grew up in the 80s and 90s or 70s
Right.
in a rougher era, and they're not punks or whatever. But usually the toughest guys aren't rappers.
Exactly. Like
They're
the rappers were the artists who,
right.
that the tough guy said, look, man, get away from this. You
Hmm.
got a chance. Go that way. Go to the studio.
Right.
I'll pay for it. Or,
Right.
like most of the artists were the good kids.
I mean, you got your Freddie Foxes who can knock out this guy
Oh
and that
yeah.
guy,
Oh
but
yeah.
for the most part, it I'm not saying rappers are all ass or anything. Yeah, I'm definitely not saying that, but there has to be an understanding that there's entertainment and reality, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, Nas doesn't have to be super gangster to talk about what he sees out his project window,
Right.
or even to go into the whole Nas Escobar, for example,
Right.
mafioso fantasy
Mm-hmm.
stuff. It's entertainment, people.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's right.
put the guns down and knuckle up. Shout
Knuckle.
out to
Yo, even you taking a risk with that. Like,
like no, go in the ring. Look, shout out to Gonzo and Bosco. Who got in the ring. That Snoop sponsored event.
yeah.
You
Yo,
know,
every 8 out of 10 shootings that that I have some knowledge about,
yeah,
especially like the younger kids, most of them are a result of like somebody losing a fight. Somebody got beat up and came back to shoot the person that beat them up.
right,
It's like, you can't even have a fight.
yeah, and then a
I
lot
mean,
of
I mean, look what we just saw. What happened? Look what happened to King Von. It's like he was just whooping somebody ass.
people are afraid to catch an ass whipping. It's cowardice, and
No,
you got kids out here just trying to get points,
yeah, that
banging
too.
just for props.
That too.
When I was a kid, it was about territory and getting money in the street, and it's not even that. It's just getting props and talking about it on social media,
The one I
and
was about to
and
say, the
getting
one
locked
thing
up.
I will never understand, I will never, ever, ever understand is why the fuck are they filming everything?
Filming it
Why
and then bragging about it in code, but
why are y'all
that
all
out.
on social media like, hello,
Stop snitching on yourself.
hello? The goal is to get away with the crime. The goal is to get as far away from the camera as possible while
Right.
the crime is in commission. Avoid the camera. Don't run to the camera during the commission of a crime.
I,
I
I saw an article. Blueface's girlfriend filmed him breaking into her neighbor's crib to her, get at him because him and his girl was, and the neighbor and the girlfriend was beefing. Like, you filmed him committing a crime. Like, no. Turn the cameras off, people.
Like, just no. Just no. Just no.
No. Oh my God. All right, so we talk about the world. Let's talk more about your career.
Sure.
So, how the whole flip mode thing start? So, Q-Tip brought you the bus. Tribe was breaking up. He's stressed out. He's beefing with Fife. Rest in peace, Fife dog.
Word.
And whatever else was happening behind the scenes, I don't know about. And
So
Bus,
now,
right.
so now I have carte blanche access to Busta Rhymes. Now I'm pulling up to Busta Rhymes sessions every day, like, yo, check this out, this new song I got. Check this new song I got out. So I'm probably getting on his nerves, I'm sure. So they were on, now at this time, they were on the Lord, so Lord Have Mercy is down. Spliff is
Flatbush.
down.
Flatbush.
I think
Whoa,
Spliff
whoa.
I want to say Spliff probably like just started rapping around. I almost feel like Spliff wasn't rapping yet when I first got down.
Really?
I want to
Nice.
say
People don't realize how nice he is.
either he was just starting, or I swear to God he might have started like rapping like that week. And Baby Sham and I came at the same time.
Right. He was from Killer Kids, right? From Queensbridge?
Yes, from Queens.
Rest in peace to Killer Shy, by the way.
Word.
Yeah.
Rampage was on. Rampage had Wild for the Night was like
right
on fire at that time, and Busta was working on his second album, When Disaster Strikes. So as the Flipmode Squad, he wanted to do a crew song, which was called We Could Take It Outside. So I ended up getting on this record. He shouts out to Bus because like he put me on this record even before like the ink was really dry for me being on Flip Mode. But I ended up getting on that record, and the standout line was like, I be burning them seeds like Betty grandson, and everybody like, oh my God. She said,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, like Betty Shabazz and just
I remember.
Rest in peace. And but just the fact that I had the unmitigated gall to say that, it kind of, it raised some brows. It kind of like piqued people's interest. Like, well, damn. Well, what else is she? Well,
but there was that era of shocking bars.
Oh yeah. And I think being that I was a girl and did it, I think that kind of like got people going like, oh shit, what's going on with this girl? So that my voice, and then we start working on the Flipmode Squad album. Right. Now we were supposed to have a we had a double A side, the Everybody on the Line Outside and Cha Cha Cha, and everybody thought the record everybody thought that Everybody on the Line Outside was going to be the takeoff record because Busta's actually rapping on that record. Then you had Lord Have Mercy, who already had like a little buzz going on too, and Rampage. Now on this other record, it's like Baby Sham, who people aren't really familiar with. Spliff Star, who's kind of new to emceeing. Like he don't really have a big name emceeing, and Digga. But that record was the record that like just took off. And then the Digga Digga Birth Name Rashida was like the that was like the catchphrase for everybody. So once that record took off, it was pretty much set that so Digga gonna be next up in Flip Mode. And
are you the only person to have a flip mode solo album besides Bus?
Rampage prior to me. Right. But no, Sham didn't drop one. Spliff didn't drop one. I think Lord went on to drop something independently, but not as Flip Mode.
And then Rock came a little later, and then
Rock came, but Rock was always like he was Flipmode, but I would even call him more of an affiliate. Like he was definitely present. He was definitely present on my album,
Right.
and
The Anarchy album, I remember he was on.
you know, and he did a lot of things with Busta, not necessarily with Flipmode, but
Mm.
he wasn't really on. He kind of came in that middle, in between the first Flipmode album and the second Flipmode album that never dropped. But my album was getting recorded at that time, so you know he is on my album a lot. But yeah, I think like a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people don't, because he's, you know, because he's made such a mark on his own. A lot of people don't really like associate him with Flipmode. Like they have to be told, like, you
That's
know.
what I knew about first, and then the UN, shout to
Yep. Yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Word up. But yeah, man. I mean, shit. I think most of us, well, myself and Rock, and like a lot of us have went on to, have success outside of the crew.
Of
My
course.
only regret, because I don't really have regrets with nothing I do. Like whatever didn't happen in my career, I was just a lazy fuck and didn't feel like it. But I would say the one regret that I do have, I kind of regret that we left Elektra Records. I feel like J Records kind of killed us,
Mm,
and like just not really knowing what the fuck to do with hip hop.
yeah.
And I regret um that second Flipmode album didn't come out,
Mm,
because that was, I think that record
yeah,
would
yeah.
definitely put Flipmode in a different conversation as far as like cruise. Because I know with like that first album, we were, most of the songs were pretty much had a similar format. All six of us rap on the record for 8 bars and busted through the hook. That was kind of like the consistent theme of every record. That second Flipmode album really, like, you really got to hear motherfuckers shine individually. Like Rampage had a song with Snoop. Like Sham had a song with Slick Rick and Nas. Like Spliff had a song with Bilal. I had a joint with Pink and a joint with Light. Um, there were more like duets and triplets, as opposed to like excuse me, all six of us on like every single record.
You
I
got to
think
switch it
people,
up.
yeah,
Two on this one, three on that, solo record.
right,
Yeah.
right. People would have gotten to hear us more as individuals, and not so much like, Busta and the Flipmode Squad.
Some of them records came out, right? Definitely.
Maybe over the years,
Yeah.
maybe over the years, maybe this one on the internet, that one on
Not the same
somebody's
thing as
mixtape, but
a
not
marketed album.
not
Yeah.
an official project. And
Right.
we just recently recorded a new one, which, well, was supposed to be our 20th anniversary. That was like a couple years ago. That album is allegedly on the way now, and I'm saying allegedly because
Allegedly.
when we announce things, I find that when you say things out loud, it doesn't happen. So now
Yeah.
I just kind of if it happens, now I just have the, like, if it happens, it happens.
I heard
Attitude.
about other projects, but I'm not going to speak on it.
Yeah, that one too. And
Yeah.
I I wouldn't be surprised if that one came out first. Or
That's the only thing I could honestly ever complain is that we need more music from you, the world.
yeah, I would say, people say, oh, you so underrated, and they don't, people sleep on you. I'm like, but you know what, partially that's my fault too, because you know I don't really like go hard putting projects out like that. Like I do a shitload of features though. Like
That
I
I
got features all over the fucking place, man. Like I would every month,
right.
it there's like such and such feature on Rah Digga, a new such and such feature on Rah Digga out. It be shit that I could have did years ago, but for whatever reason, every single month, like clockwork, there was like a new Rah Digga feature. So I'm grateful for that. I get now. I maybe I just have more fun doing that. Like I just have more fun like shitting on other people on their own projects than doing my own. I don't know, but you
just gotta grab a producer and lock in the studio for a week or two.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I did with Nottz. It literally took
Yeah.
us 2 weeks to do that classic album. And I got some shit as just recently there was there's a challenge that Ski Beats does. Shout out Ski Beats, the Smack Pack challenge. And so the producers were using my acapella that I provided for the Smack Pack Volume 7. Yo, some of them beats were so dope. I told all them producers, like, yo, one beat from each of y'all is a project.
Yeah.
There were like 8 finalists, and they had to narrow down and pick the winner at the at the end of the day. But I felt high key like re-inspired. Another thing too is I've been, I've moved to an undisclosed location, so I don't have engineers like readily accessible. So
I may be
oftentimes
able to help with that. I know some people in the
and
undisclosed location area.
and you know what? It's actually and it's not that I don't have access to it. It's just a matter of wanting people to know where I'm at, just having people in your space or things of that nature. Since I just got here, I'm still trying to figure out the lay of the land. I do know some folks, some very notable folks, but again, it would take me to pick my ass up by the bootstraps and get to them and do what I do. So what I'm doing now is I am taking a Pro Tools class. I'm actually we were supposed to do this interview earlier, but I was like, I'm gonna be in class all day. I'm actually, taking a class to be Avid certified in mixing and mastering. So I can do my shit, your shit, everybody's shit. And I've been I've been recording myself, but you never can know too much with Pro Tools. Like every year they upgrade. There's always a new button they didn't added somewhere that you just don't know what the hell it is, but it would make all the difference. And that's a big thing too. It's like sometimes the creative process gets hindered when you're trying to do all this technical stuff yourself. Right. As opposed to just having like an engineer or something do it for you. So I'm like, the hell with it. But
you gotta run back and forth to the computer, to the booth.
Yeah. So now now that I think
when you're ready, I'm here. I'll press record anytime.
And you know what? And it's no excuse for me because I got everything. I got the mic in my face. So it's like it's no excuse. I'm taking the class, make sure I know what everything is, and the mic is in my face. So if y'all don't get any new music from Rah Digga in 2021, I'm just a sucker MC.
I know it's
I'm just a sucker. It's no excuse.
It's coming. Even if I gotta nag you and be a pain in your
coming. It's coming, y'all. It's coming.
So Digga, tell me, how did you get involved with Lord Jamar on the Yanadameen podcast? Because I love it. I watch so many episodes. I love how Lord Jamar don't give a fuck. He's a 5%er. He ain't. I grew up around 5%ers. In Brooklyn. So I was signed to Wu-Tang. I was, I'm used to all that. So it's. I love his don't give a fuck attitude. And then you're sometimes more political. You don't want to like shit on people totally, but sometimes you don't give a fuck too.
No, but you know what? It don't even like. I don't necessarily mean to play devil's advocate or try to be politically correct.
Look, you the voice of reason, I think sometimes too.
Yeah, it's like I don't always, it may not always be that. It may not always be that. And I think if we're going to, if we're going to assume the mantle of being, podcasters, we have to be able to discuss things objectively. Like we can even if we feel, however you feel about it, we still have to be able to discuss all of the factors involved, and then your conclusion is your conclusion. It's not just fuck you, it's what I say, like. But hey, one thing I do I do respect his candor and his consistency. he consistent in his zero fucks. But
how did it get started though?
How did we get together? So funny story. Some years back, I was going through a situation behind some remarks that I had made in regards to Iggy Azalea.
Boo.
hey.
I said it. It's okay.
She's great.
I've met her before. She's a nice person, though.
She's great at what she does. I just don't consider it hip hop.
Okay.
Hey, that's my view. And somewhere in a parallel universe, Jamar was going through a similar situation over remarks that he had made in regards to Eminem.
Right.
So one day on social media, a troll, somebody was trolling me and they tagged both of us and they was like, oh, you're just a female Lord Jamar. And then Jamar replied like, LOL. He replied with a bunch of laughing emojis. I'm like, nah, nigga, you still public enemy number one. I'm like, no, you still number one. But I'm your Pippin right now. I'm a strong.
Yeah.
After that, we we just started building from there, and then I saw him discussing, my situation with Vlad, and he just spoke very highly of me, and it made me feel good. He's like, it's good when people speak up, and I hadn't been watching his Vlad interviews up until that point. I honestly felt like
Wi-Fi acting up a little. Yeah.
My mic's acting up.
It could be my Wi-Fi or yours.
I'm not sure. 1 2.
No, we good. We good.
Good. Oh, because up until that point, like I honestly felt like I was on my own island. I'm like, okay, am I bugging out? Like, is nobody going to, say what's real and what's not in hip hop? Like I didn't realize that, he was somewhere in the world being as vocal as he was being. And I know people, there are gatekeepers, there are people that speak up. I just didn't feel like there was anyone, with a big enough platform on the main, on the mainstream level, speaking out. Like, wait a minute, so are we just okay with like like
right.
we should.
I remember Q-Tip talking to Iggy though and trying to educate her on the culture and her just
that was all after the fact,
right.
That was after.
Respectful.
Like I think yeah, and it was like no, my scenario with her was the first of many. I feel like my situation started, kind of started like a chain reaction of people addressing her, and then her response to everybody was like, I don't give a fuck, I got number one. And it kind of, then people started seeing like, oh, okay, maybe that's what Digga was. I'm like, yeah, right. Like,
but look where she's at now. No one really cares about her anymore.
I mean, and shouts out to her. I mean, it wasn't to like, I don't have a problem. Like, I don't have a problem with people trying to make a way for themselves. Like, right. Do what you got to do, establish a career, do your thing. I just have a problem with everybody slapping the label hip hop on every fucking thing. Mm-hmm. It's like, we can't just go be country. we can't just go be blue, we can't just go be Western. Like, we can't just go be EDM, not without some sort of backlash or put in a box, if you will. Like Beyonce, a whole ass Houston, Texas woman with a record with the Dixie Chicks, wouldn't even put that in the category of country. But like, it's like anybody can put on their rap costumes and just be called hip hop, and then go sweep all the hip hop awards.
Meanwhile, what's country but just the blues with a little extra twang in it? Let's be
Right.
honest,
And I took issue with that. I felt like none of the radio personalities were addressing it. I just, just a lot of things. So when I started, that's the conversation that I started on the female side, and then Jamar started it on the male side, and then we just built. I appeared as a guest on, when he may have been about 4 or 5 episodes in. I appeared as a guest. The episode got like 500,000 views in the first day. Like, yo, we need to like partner up. Like, yo, your attitude, my attitude, like we could win. But then I actually, then once I started doing the show, I'm like, wait, hold on. You're a little too crazy for me. Like, I had to have a couple little behind the scenes conversations with him. Like, okay, we still want to have a viable career even after this is over. So
picture you guys arguing. The world is really round, though. Come on.
I'm gonna need you to tone down the inflammatory language a little bit.
Yeah.
And when we broach topics that are deemed conspiracy theory, you're gonna have to approach it in a way that doesn't make you sound crazy. You have to be able to present alternate theories,
right,
without scaring people. It's putting the medicine in the candy. It's spoon feeding. It's certain thing. That's my approach, because we have different views on things,
right.
but we have the same views on a lot of things as well. We just have a different approach.
We got to be careful also where some of these conspiracy theories are coming from. I keep saying there's a lot of far right, racist, wannabe Nazi types who put out a lot of information, and they don't want you to know that where they're actually coming from, and they're
actually using it to divide us.
Right.
They're actually using it to divide us. I feel like we are the first ones to tear down our own oftentimes. And while you think you're being a critical thinker, in real life you're just echoing their rhetoric. So gotta be careful, and that's the position that I try to play on the show. But I also but I do fall back a lot, because I also want him to be him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be the one to come on Lord Jamar's show like, oh, Jamar, you can't say this, you can't do that. I don't want to be that guy.
That sounds like my wife when we first got together. She's like, that's problematic. I just crack jokes. I could be a little.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to be that guy when everybody is here to listen to Lord Jamar and not give a fuck. But every now and then I do try to save him from himself. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes I just gotta,
Hey, but at least you're your own person. You have your own opinion.
That's right, and I ain't backing down. Like, he can't punk me. We'll argue to the death. Oh, trust me, there's been shows where we've had to edit, cut, go smoke.
I've seen the clips. Like, wait a minute,
Calm down. Like, no, there's been fuck you, no fuck. Okay, like, okay, wait.
That's the part I really want to see.
no, we've had our editor have to like come in like, okay, I'm gonna need everybody in their corner. Everybody in their corner. All right.
Yeah. But are you having fun with it? That's the most important thing.
I am. I'm definitely having fun with it. Here lately though, like I've been doing a lot of traveling, and Godfrey adds a dope element, because sometimes when things get too tense between myself and Jamar, like he'll be that perfect comedic timing, and he'll be the comedy relief that we need to,
He's hilarious.
Yeah, like he'll just like we'll be talking about something serious as fuck, and then he'll just come do an impression like, damn you, Godfrey. But I've been traveling a lot lately, and Godfrey's been traveling a lot lately. So Jamar's been doing a lot of segments on his own. I saw he just had Pooh Bah on there. I'm like, wait a minute. We've been waiting for 2 years to get Pooh Bah. You just gonna do him by yourself? I was mad.
He was feeling lonely, He was on my own.
I know. We talk all the time, though. I just be telling, like, sometimes if I don't have like my setup, like we were supposed to do this last week, but I'm like, I'm on the road. It's gonna be me on my phone in the corner. Like once I get back home with background and
Jamar is funny too. Lord Jamar, people don't know he used to prank call people in the game. And he told me a couple of stories.
I did too. Oh my God, I did too.
I used to prank call everybody. I never pranked you though.
I prank called Rakim before. I prank
called Nas' old manager. I prank called K Slay. I'm sorry, Slay. I'm sorry.
I used to just call around the studios and get them to tell me, get them to tell me who was having a session. And I would just prank to death. I would be like, I don't know. I would act like I'm like some long lost groupie and shit that's like got a kid now. I used to do all type of wild shit, yo. I was a kid too. What the fuck?
There's nothing like the pranking the angry rappers, the pissed off ones, and they fall for the bullshit and they get all mad and start threatening your life on the phone.
Let me see. Did anybody ever get mad? I'm trying to think. Did anybody ever get mad?
I got a few death threats back in the day.
I don't think I ever got anybody mad. Rakim was actually cool. Like I feel like he was just actually on the phone kicking it to me. Like it was, I feel like at some point in the conversation I went from, yeah, this quiet to Kanisha to, yeah, yo, that new Coogee rap. Like I feel like at some point the prank, like I completely like fell out of character with the prank and like became Rah Digga on the phone. Like, oh shit, I'm still in the middle of a prank. Okay, bye.
I used to have other girls prank call rappers, but pretend like they have a kid. Like, they're groupies from the show.
Yeah, that was the shit.
They bug out.
I was never, you know what? My partner was good because my partner's got the how you doing? She's got the squeaky voice. Like my voice has so much bass in it. Like I could never do the like I never had that kind of voice. So me being the girl voice never really quite went well.
You gotta get voice lessons from Godfrey. Show you how to do the impressions.
No, I got some funny voice stories too. I remember what's the song? Busta, what it is right now. That was supposed to be me at first. My voice, they tried everything to get my voice to go high. Even before it didn't. Now these were the real days. Even before the days of auto-tune, they actually sped up the track to get me to try to sound like but just on the mic it's just bass, like
hey, it's okay. We love
mostly the voice.
We love your voice. You know what I mean? It stands out. That's You don't want to sound like everybody else. You know, you want to be unique.
Hell yeah.
You know. Oh man. So what's in the works? The Flipmode album might come out.
What's in the works for Rah Digga? It's funny because since we've been quarantining and just taking this time to kind of sit still, I've just been getting into a little bit of everything. Like I said, I'm taking these Pro Tools classes. I actually want to take, I want to take some more classes and see about getting another degree up under my belt, like just any random class.
What about acting? Because I know you, 13
I'm
Ghosts and all that.
I'm definitely, I'm definitely in talks with folks about getting more roles. I'm actually trying to write and develop a couple of things. I got an idea for a movie, and I also have an idea for a series. I want to, I kind of want to get into film scoring, and I want to do more behind the scenes stuff, because it's like, I'm always gonna know how to rhyme, but I'm getting older. I don't have Megan Thee Stallion knees. Like at some point, at some point, I am gonna want to, sit down. So, oh gosh. I'm sorry. This is the part where like everything.
It's okay. I got
the podcast. I'll call you right back.
I got cat attacks over here.
So I've got I'm gonna say more behind the scenes stuff. I'm actually looking into launching a label as well. I've got I got some youngins that are pretty fucking sharp, and I would just hate. I do so much for people. Like I'm like such a plug, and I feel like all these years I've been kind of cheating myself. Just like I never wanted to manage or be a label, because I just didn't want the responsibility of other people's careers in my hands like that.
It's tough. It's like being a parent. You know, I managed, Shut the Frank Knight, Jamel Rockwell, formerly Saf Kills.
But I also feel like I don't want to short myself either. Like I'm not going to just keep plugging and you become Drake out this bitch, and all I got was a finder's fee. Like, nah. So, I'm exploring my options as far as like launching a label, and I got all the talent I need. Shit, Jersey alone, solidified artist, and you don't look, expect to hear some more Rah Digga. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
And then you mixing and mastering yourself soon enough.
And I'm mixing and mastering, so you'll probably get it a hell of a lot quicker.
I mean, like once you have your presets, it's not, you're on your mic, you got your settings.
Yep, that's it.
Compressor, de-esser, EQ, reverb. The aux input, the levels. It's not rocket science.
Pretty much, and what's crazy, and that's all the standard stuff that I know. And what's messing with, we reviewed and covered all of that day one of class. So I'm like, well, damn, well, what am I gonna learn in day 5? We knocked all that out day 1.
Well, you're doing like the aux inputs, the buses, and all that stuff.
We did that. Today was day 1. We did that today.
Okay.
We were all in the input, output. Like we did all of, like we were already, we covered like, all the basic, what every button on the screen is, and some shortcuts. Like we basically covered that today. So now, now we're gonna be who knows? I'm like, okay, I'm just curious to see where he goes next. I'm like, damn, I thought I knew everything. That was day 1 of class. Well, shit.
Well, let me know. I might need some pointers from you at the end of the day. Oh man.
Word.
Is there anything else you want to plug? I don't want to talk your ear off too long. I know you got stuff to do.
Nah, you good. Well, like I said, definitely follow me on all social media. The Real Rah Digga on Instagram, The Real Rah Digga on Twitter, Rah Digga Music on Facebook. I have a website, Rah Digga Music as well. That's your hub for everything. That's
Right.
all things going on with Rah Digga. That's my YouTube. That's my merch. That's my news, social media, just everything. You need pictures. That's my picture gallery. So
Right.
definitely take a scroll through the site, Rah Digga Music. I also teach master classes through a workshop that I created called Lyrics Matter, where I teach artist development, um rap techniques. I give like little tricks to improve your pen,
It's on
hip
Zoom.
hop history, entrepreneurship, turning your hobby into a viable career in business, lucrative. And those they were in-person workshops, but
Right.
they got suspended due to COVID. But so now I do them virtually, so you can just log on and keep an eye out for the next one. I have one that's actually there for sale now. I have a second one coming in probably sometime early summer. But
Artists
yeah,
learn.
man, I'm just
You must learn. The
just
KRS.
dibbling in. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's another important. I don't ever want to hear. I definitely don't ever want to hear the girls say, well, none of the veteran females taught me or showed me or schooled me or gave me gems. Bullshit. I teach a class, I sell a class, I collab with new artists, and I'm approachable. You know what I mean? You
You've helped
can
out a lot of MCs, men and
yeah,
women. I know that for a fact.
you can holler at me at social media and I'll reply. I show love, I show support. I keep my ears to the street. Like, I'm not a
Mhm.
person that just thinks all new rappers suck. I mean, a lot of you do, but I am open-minded enough to listen to it all and digest it all, and you don't have to be rapping to a 93 beats per minute beat for me to think your shit is fresh. Like, there are trap rappers and drill rappers that are fresh to me.
Yeah. Some of them could really rap.
Word is born.
I wish more of them in Brooklyn could though.
Well, you know how y'all New Yorkers, thank God us Jersey MCs keep a sharp pen. Y'all New Yorkers, y'all be funny. Y'all start sounding like down south and all this other nonsense going on. But Jersey will hold it down for the lyricists.
I mean, y'all been holding it down. I
Or
think.
nah, hey, shouts out to anybody who in this stage in life is, succeeding and doing well in this business, because it's not easy. It's even I would say I thought it was harder in my era to get on because you really had to be talented. I'm gonna say it's harder now just because there's so much noise to cut through
Right.
that,
It's hard to
you
stand
know,
out.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. So
it's hard to develop artists.
yes,
Even if they're dope, getting them the right songs, the right production, the right videos, getting the DJs to care when they don't care
right.
about a lot of new artists. And
Especially when 101 people sound like the same thing. It's like
hmm
the person that attempts to stand apart doesn't, it
right,
doesn't work for them, which is unfortunate because you're supposed to not bite. You're supposed to.
right.
It's like everything. I don't know. It's like sometimes I be wondering, like, damn, like, was I dreaming? Was I dreaming that you were supposed to write your own rhymes and
No.
not bite other people's style. I'm like, was that a
That's
myth?
what makes you a real MC. No, that's the culture. And you have people that you're a purist and you get it. And not everybody understands that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So many people had ghostwriters from even from the 80s.
Oh, that's a fact. That's a fact.
It broke my heart to find out about people. I'm not naming no names, but damn.
Hey, baby.
Some of our favorite MCs that we grew up on. Like, really? No.
And it's so and funny you should say that, because when I look at a lot of these, GOAT listing things now, and certain names I see, or just people's names that come up in conversations, it's like, but are we, do they qualify if they didn't write this stuff or had
No, they
help?
don't.
Like,
Not in R&B. It doesn't matter. It's how you sing, how you put your emotion to the music.
I hate when people try to make that
Different culture.
comparison. Like, so
Different.
what? So you don't have to write your own stuff in R&B.
That's
You're
R&B.
supposed to write
Soul,
your own stuff
funk.
in
That's
hip
different.
hop. It's like 1 + 1 = 2.
Right. It is our hip hop culture that
If
you're
hip
supposed to
hop
write your own stuff.
if hip hop had a constitution, a Bill of Rights, the First Amendment and the Second Amendment would be write your own rhymes and don't bite. That is freedom of speech and the right to bear arms.
Mm-hmm.
Write your own rhymes and don't bite.
Yes, please. And if you need help mentoring and learning how bar structure, take me to Digga's classes.
Lyrics only. Lyrics matter.
Yeah.
Word. Damn. Lyrics Matter LLC. Coming to a hood, coming to a performing arts center near you.
Dope. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time.
Word. Thank you for having me.
Follow Digga on everything.
Yeah.
Go, artists. You want to learn about this game? Sign up for the classes.
I got you. I was there. I've done it on a major level. I've done it on the indie level. I studied artists from the 80s. I was rapping in the 90s and the 2000s. I went independent in the 2010s. Like, I kind of lived through every era.
100%.
I can learn you some shit.
And I feel like that's too. I want to see you develop the label. We gotta take the dope talent and nurture it and put it out to the world. That's right. What I try do with all the whole All Elements team.
Word.
But yo, thank you very much. Get out of here. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel, everybody. Hit like, leave a comment. Don't be an asshole, because I'm a worse asshole. Don't start. Thank you so much, y'all. Get up one time for Rah Digga, ladies and gentlemen. All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.